What's up, you guys? It's Flying Squirrel. So today, it's been a few days since the event.
Leave me alone! Akira!
Since it happened. And it hasn't been easy for me. It probably hasn't been easy for you, especially you guys who are also like me. And if you're like me, then you are literally Charles Oliveira. It has not been easy seeing this happen. You know, this is a picture of it, but this is actually how it felt. This is how I remember it. It was a dark time. I'm going to be giving us 5 coping strategies, 5 coping methods for Charles Oliveira fans. So a cope is how to deal effectively with something difficult. Yeah, it's been difficult, bro. And then you know that what makes it even more difficult, like I've had video ideas, but I have not wanted to get back on YouTube just because the comments have been so rough, bro. Literally like thousands of comments saying, bro, you know nothing about MMA. Hang it up. This aged horribly. This aged horribly comment has 400 likes on it. I remember a year ago, my videos didn't even have 400 views. Now I have a comment with 470 likes on it. Crazy, man. But also, I literally said, I started and ended the video by saying Ilia wins. But you know what? You guys, you don't listen. You don't pay attention. You don't read. You can't cook. All you do is you twerk, eat hot chip, be bisexual, and lie. That's all you do. I literally, in that video, I said I'm taking an alternative view to make it interesting. Hey, newsflash, guys. My channel is entertainment, okay? You guys are acting like I just messed up someone's heart surgery. Okay, I was literally impersonating Dragon Ball Z characters in the video. I put fart sounds in my video. You guys are acting like I'm a Supreme Court justice. Is the Fighting Nerds coach, is he doing that in his analysis videos? Is Teddy Atlas doing, something fell. Is Teddy Atlas doing fart jokes in his videos? Huh? Is Faraz Zahabi, by the way, Faraz Zahabi made a video with the exact same take of me. Literally the exact same points that I said, Faraz Zahabi, he said them. But Faraz Zahabi, the difference between me and him, I'll tell you what right now, I'll tell you exactly what's the difference between me and him. Faraz Zahabi's not impersonating a 1920s mobster. He's not. So now I got people who've been Ilia Topuria fans for the past 3 weeks being mean to me in the comments, acting like I know nothing about MMA. When I made that video about Ilia Topuria versus Holloway is not close, I got about 5 comments saying, you were right, Flying Squirrel. I make this video, it's literally thousands of comments. Someone told me stop watching UFC, bro. Hey, bro, cut off the TV, hand me your eyeballs, you're done. Anyways, let's get back on topic, huh? 5 copes for Charles Oliveira fans that you can use to help yourself cope, to help your friends cope. As a Charles Oliveira fan, to defend yourself in the comment sections against Ilia Topuria fans who just started watching the UFC, literally just started watching the UFC. You probably talk to them, they probably think the apex has always been there. So here's our first cope that you can use to get through this tough time. And now we're going to look at the footage. Okay, Ilia busted weight and the UFC cheated. Here we go.
155 and a half.
All right, 155 and a half. Y'all heard that, right? Now this announcer guy, he's probably just not even thinking. You're going to hear someone say, hey, it's supposed to be 155. Yeah, someone say he's got to make 155. Now, if you look, this thing is bouncing. And the guy, he literally just looks at it. He pushes it up. He says it bounced enough. He's 155. Dude, that's cheating, bro. So here's my cope. My first cope. Ilia busted weight. The UFC cheated. They just basically pretended that he made weight right there. This is worse than Towelgate. Hey, listen, guys. Before I start going in this video, I want you guys to know this is entertainment, okay? I don't actually believe these things, all right? That being said, this is absolutely the worst controversy we've ever seen in the UFC, okay? Ilia, he busted weight. How can this happen, bro? This is worse than Towelgate. because the UFC was actually behind this. And Towelgate, the fighter was behind it. The dude was literally, maybe he was dehydrated. Maybe he didn't have enough coffee. He forgot and he didn't do the scale. Who knows, guys? But right now, that right there, hey man, this fight shouldn't have even happened. Ilia Topuria is a weight bully at this point. That's not fair. Here's my next cope. For Charles Oliveira fans, this is how we're going to get through this, man. This tough time. Charles is old and he's out of his prime, bro. Hey man, we got to just let facts be facts. This man got 45, 46 fights. He's born in 1989. This is a guy, he's born in 1989. Ilia Topuria his parents weren't even together in 1989. Ilia Topuria's parents were in high school. Ilia Topuria was in high school. He's a teenager when Charles Oliveira was in the UFC. You might as well have brought out current day Mark Coleman out there. The UFC knew that Charles was on his way down. So they just did the whole fan transfer method, right? You match someone who's on their way down, but very famous, with someone on their way up who could use some more fans. So now, all of a sudden, Ilia knocks out Charles. Everyone who was there to watch Charles, they had to watch Ilia Topuria knock him out. Now every Charles Oliveira fan is going to know who Ilia is. They're either going to hate him, they're going to respect him, but they are probably going to tune in for his next fight because they know he's something serious. This is it. This is why they did it. Charles Oliveira, he's out of his prime, bro. He's out of his prime. All right, here's our next quote. It was the coach's fault for a bad game plan.
I really like Charles, but what the fuck was that game plan, lad? You know what I mean? Stand in front of him and get punched in the face.
You messed up when Paddy Pimblett is critiquing your game plan. What was that game plan, lad? You stand in front of him. He's a good boxer. Why'd you stand in front of him? We gotta be real. If you're fighting Ilia Topuria and he says, I'm going to knock him out in the first minute because he walks forward, maybe the coaches should have said, okay, change the game plan, don't walk forward, and don't box with Ilia Topuria. Maybe they could have done that. But no, it was the coach's fault, bro. It wasn't Charles Oliveira. Man, we can't fault Charles Oliveira for this. It was the coach's fault. They should have steered him in the right direction. It's their responsibility. All right, our next cope, it was a fluke KO. And I got some slides for this, man. Because you got to look at how hard Ilia was throwing. He was throwing so hard. Look at that sloppy. Remember he was talking about how Max Holloway, it's just like a bar fight. Look at that. Oh. Sloppy, dude. He's just throwing as hard as he possibly can. As hard as he possibly can. Oh, let's not look at that one. He's just swinging for the fences. If it went to the fourth round, Charles Oliveira, he wins this, dude. Because Ilia Topuria, he can't keep that pace up for 4 rounds. So yeah, I think this was a fluke KO. It's a fluke KO. Yeah, and I think the evidence that I've shown, let's not look at that one. I think the evidence that I've shown can prove he was just swinging. It was a lucky punch. He's just been catching these guys with lucky punches, man. This is a fluke. All right, so our next and final cope. This is the most powerful cope that you can use, okay? Most powerful cope that you can use is, it's actually reverse psychology, and I use it on some of you boneheads in the comments. Is you just agree with the person, and then it disarms them, and then they actually they'll be sympathetic to your point of view. It's amazing. This is something that you learn when you read books. You realize that debating actually gets you nowhere. So what you got to do is you got to double down on the other hand. So you got to say, man, Ilia Topuria, he's just literally the greatest fighter that's ever stepped foot in the octagon.
You're glazing. You're glazing. Hey, you glazing. You're glazing.
Charles, as good as Charles Oliveira is, Ilia Topuria is just literally, he might be better than John Jones. And so this is what happens when you cope like that. When you start saying Ilia Topuria is literally 2 John Joneses put together and compacted in a 155-pound frame. When you say stuff like that, then it's okay that Charles Oliveira lost. Then it's okay that he got fluke KO'd or he had a bad game plan. That doesn't even matter because he lost to the best of the best of the best. So this is my favorite kind of cope. You see this with UFC fighters all the time. They always do that. If a UFC fighter loses to somebody, then the next fight, when someone asks them, hey, what is your take on this next fight? They're always going to be like, oh, bro, I'm going for Gaethje, for example. Before Gaethje fought Oliveira, he was the biggest Oliveira hater. He was like doubting. He's like, I think Oliveira's a fluke. He's not really good. He's After Oliveira put that whooping on Gaethje, Gaethje was like, No, man, I really think Oliveira is gonna win, man. Yeah, I got Oliveira in this fight. Yeah, he's just different. He's just got a different power. Oh, where was all that respect beforehand? Or Kamaru Usman. After Kamaru loses to somebody, hey, I gotta go Hamzat. I think Hamzat really is just different. I think he's gonna handle Dricus, man. I think he's gonna make it look easy. Right? That's just the ego. So this is actually the best coping strategy, is this number 5 one. And so if someone is in the comments arguing with you and they're, oh, bro, you need to delete your channel, bro. You don't know anything about MMA. Here's what you do. You say, yeah, man, I thought I knew about MMA, but Ilia Topuria is just so good. He proved me wrong. Now what is that dork going to say? What is the dork in the comments going to say to that? Oh, yeah, bro, you're stupid. No, he's not going to say that. He's going to say, yeah, man, he is pretty good, man. But, you know, Charles Oliveira, he's a great champion. I don't blame you for thinking that he was going to do well. And then all of a sudden, you have dismantled their ignorance with your coping strategy. So, hey, guys, like I said, this is entertainment, but you're getting, because I read books and I know you guys are too busy twerking and eating hot chips, I just thought I would share some stuff from these books that I be reading.
I read more like, I read a lot of books. I love reading books.
But this is Flying Squirrel MMA. Let me know what your favorite coping strategy is when your favorite fighter loses. Hit the like button if you like it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. And please stop hating on me so much. Actually, keep hating. Because I made a bag off that video, even though y'all hated.